Are you the type of person that gets anxious because you have to go to a formal event by yourself? Well, that's me. Later on tonight, I will be going to a 250th anniversary of America, a formal event by myself. And quite honestly, I've been in my head a bit about it all week. And though I want to go, and I know that this is important, I'm still a little bit anxious about it. Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I'm 65 years old. I'm almost 66, actually, and I'm a widow. And it's difficult to attend formal events, and quite honestly, this is the second one that I've attended in less than a month. I was at a wedding a few weeks ago, and now this big 250th celebration this evening. And I'm bracing myself, but I also know that it is going to be fun. And I do know people who will be there, but I will be walking in alone, and it's a little disconcerting. And I'm not alone. I'm sure if you're watching this video and you're in a similar situation, then I would love to know, do you have any great tips? Because my first tip is basically, I'm going to arrive a little bit late. And I feel like if I get there a half an hour later, there's not going to be this queue at the front door. I can sort of just slide in, and maybe I'm going to try to find a side entrance. But I feel like going a little bit later is a good idea. Then people are already sort of mingling, and I can slip into a little group. That's at least what I'm anticipating. And I've also, for the past week and a half, I've been sort of asking friends, are you going? So I have a sense of who's going to be there, and I can look for those people and hopefully sit with them. But it is weird because most of these events are coupled, right? A formal wedding or a formal event like I'm having this evening, they're formal events, and it's usually couples. So I will be walking in alone, and that's just what it is. If I want to go forward in my life and participate, and I do, I have to put myself out there in situations that may feel uncomfortable at first, but apparently there's going to be a DJ and drinks. So hopefully I will be dancing, and I'm anticipating that it will be fun. It's just I've been in my head a lot, and I know that once I get there, I'll relax and probably really have a great time. But the other thing is, I have found that if I don't necessarily have these great expectations, that I just say, let's go and have a good enough time, then sometimes your experience ends up being much better, and that's great. But if you in advance think it's going to be something tremendous, and it doesn't turn out to be that, then it's a disappointment. So that's another tip that I believe is a good strategy. Just go and say, I know this is hard, but just show up and say yes to life and have a good enough time. And if it's better, great. So that's my pep talk to me. Obviously, I have to go home in a little while and get myself dressed up, and that's always fun. It's really nice to put on a long dress and wear high heels and put on some jewelry. But I would be lying if I said that I'm not going to miss my husband. Of course I'm going to miss my husband. It's these kind of milestone events when you really are faced with the fact that, yes, I live alone, I'm single, I'm a widow, and I don't have a life partner, and that's not so great. But this is what it is, and I'm saying yes to life. So later on, right before I leave for this event, I'm going to come back on, okay? And if you have some great tips on how you get out in the world as a solo person, let me know. Because I get out there and I go to community concerts and workshops, things like that I can do alone. But when it's a formal event, it's tough. It just is. It's usually what people do with their partner. So that's just what I wanted to say. And I hope that you're doing okay. All right. All right. I will check back when I'm all dressed up. Thank you. Okay, I am ready. I'm all dressed up. Ta-da! I'm wearing some nice jewelry. I feel good in my dress, and I'm ready. But I am nervous, and I'm actually late now, which is part of my plan because I decided I don't want to arrive exactly on time so that when I walk in the front door, everybody's going to be looking at me, even though I don't know why they would look at me. But in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they're going to be looking at me because I'm going to be alone. But that's okay. So I'm feeling anxious, but also empowered because it takes courage to get out there and step out on your own. And I got what I would consider a little message from my husband, or a download, and it just said, bring that beautiful purse that I brought back from Singapore for you. And that's what I'm doing. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? So my husband used to travel quite a bit for work and would bring me nice gifts because I would be basically home being mom. So by my bringing this little purse, I feel like I'm bringing a piece of him, and maybe I'm thinking he's with me on this adventure tonight, this celebration, this 250th anniversary of America. So here I go. Wish me luck. I'm sure I'll be dancing later, which is always a plus. And, you know, if you struggle like I am, it's up and down, it's baby steps, but getting out there is really what life is about. And I remember the day before my husband died, I said to him, life is for the living, and who knows how long any of us are here for. And that's the truth. And then the next morning, he passed away suddenly. So why I said that, I'm not really sure, but this is the truth. We're only here for a short time, and we're not getting younger. So we have to seize the day and try to do bold things. So that's it. Wish me luck.